Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the channel. Today we're going to be talking all about using Android 2.3 Gingerbread 10 years later after it was released on December 10th, 2010. So for this video I'm going to use this 2013 phone which has a single core ARM-v7 processor with a clock speed of 1 GHz and 512 megabytes of RAM. And because it's an ARM-v7 processor, unlike the ARM-v6 the Galaxy Y uses, it will be more capable than that device. But anyway, this phone is not by any means the most powerful Android 2.3 smartphone ever released, since that title goes to the original Galaxy Note. Android 2.3 has aged pretty bad over this past decade, being released only 2 years after the first version of Android, meaning it came out at a time when Android was way more chaotic. Because newer versions of Android would bring in a huge amount of new features with every iteration, to the point Android Gingerbread was already obsolete by 2014. Because of that, with this version will leave us quite limited. The first thing I want to show you is this cute Easter egg with the zombie gingerbread man next to the Android logo in a scene that reminds us of Halloween. This one was the first Android Easter egg, and it would become a tradition to include one until Android 9. After that, it just became a boring number. First of all, the Play Store still works. It's an older version, but as you can see, there's only one app on the main menu. I looked up for games and other apps, but only a few apps appeared. And when making this video, Google just announced that as of September of this year, they won't let you sign in using Android 2.3 or lower. But because the Play Store itself is already almost useless, I disable it along the Google Play services because they're a huge memory and CPU hog. YouTube no longer works using the official YouTube app, with the latest version dating back to mid-2014 and being usable until October 2018. Anyway, that was a pretty good run for such an old version. That being said, I tried using the stock browser, but it wouldn't even load the YouTube page. I tried using Firefox then, which in theory should be able to load YouTube videos as it's HTML5 compatible, but the app crashes before I could even get to open the video. I don't know if more capable devices could be powerful enough to not crash, but this phone in particular has such low specs it can't even handle the YouTube page. Anyway, there's still a method you can use to watch videos, and that's using the Opera Mini downloaded. So all you have to do is search anything on Google, then select videos, and then just click on the video and select download. The video will be downloaded and you can watch it using any media player.
Hey, all you Max Payne fans. On a new scar that slows you down and drags you closer to your grave.
If you want to use social media apps, you'll have to go and find all the APKs and install them manually, like this one for Instagram, which works surprisingly well. Facebook Lite works surprisingly well. I mean, I know it's meant for devices with low specs, but as you can see, this is usable. No issues here whatsoever with this app. Twitter also works using the browser, and you're only limited by the phone and the browser. Other social media apps like Snapchat or TikTok don't even dream of having them here. You need at least Android KitKat to run those apps. For web browsing, you could use an older version of Firefox, which actually holds up fine, and we could technically use it to watch YouTube videos, but the browser itself is so resource intensive on low-end devices that it would constantly crash. So because of that, I'm going to use this browser instead, which is the Opera Mini browser, which works really well for text-based pages like Google or Wikipedia. But since this browser hasn't been updated since 2016, it has a lot of issues loading some pages. For gaming, this version is compatible with a lot of games. All you have to do is go and find the APKs for Android 2.3. In this case, I'm playing GTA 3, and as you can see, it works well. Moving on, I installed an older version of Minecraft. This is version 0.14 and it works well. It's laggy, but at least it's somewhat playable. Most Android classic games like Flappy Birds are also compatible with this version. Resident Evil 4 runs very well. I know it's not as complete as the console version, but it's still fun. Nintendo 64 emulation is okay. Some games like Conquer are laggy, but most games are playable using this version of Android. I'm playing Mario 64 and it runs very well, but the small screen really gets in the way with my fingers covering up almost all of the screen. You can also install the SNES emulator, which works really well on this version of Android. PlayStation 1 emulation is good. You can play almost any game. As you can see, I'm playing Resident Evil 3, and even though it's not constant 50 frames per second, it's still playable.
Okay, we've got to get out of here.
What? What do you think you're talking about? Told you! I'm not leaving! Never! Just get away from me.
Anyway guys, that's all for this video. We did manage to get a lot of use out of this version of Android in 2021. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. And I want to thank you all so much for watching and see you in the next one. Peace out.